Hi, it's Rebecca, and I set to kind of feel the energy and get a channeled message before starting another card pull from the Divine Masters Oracle deck by Kyle Gray to connect with the energy of a Divine Master. I am not sure if these... Oh, that's weird. That is so weird. So I wrote 11/19/26, November 19th, 26. I'm going to just put a line through that. Today is May 05/19/26. That's interesting. So I don't know if November 19th is going to be an important date. I have not been thinking about November. That is the day before my birthday, so I wasn't thinking about my birthday or anything. I don't know why I wrote 11/19 instead of 5/19, but we will continue. So I don't know if this message is connected to whatever Divine Master I will pull from this deck, or if it's separate. So I will try to leave enough room to record, pause, and separate them into two different videos if needed. Or to continue and just post it as one message. We will see. Now this is a long one, but I'm going to read through it. And when I'm channeling, my handwriting is not always the best, so please bear with me. What I got was division. When the world is viewed as this, quotation marks, or that, again, quotation marks, Spirit comes through often emphasizing things. They will have me capitalize letters. They will have me put quotation marks. They will have me underline all kinds of things to emphasize a message. So, division. When the world is viewed as this or that, there are so many wondrous things that are missed. You already decide what is, and thus you lose the aspects of potential and possibility. The focus becomes so narrow that to consider an alternative feels like an attack on your autonomy and sovereignty. However, the act of accepting such a narrow view hinders the ability to see what truly creates and supports freedom. Words are words. You cannot survive off of them alone. Words can affect your energy and frequency, but they do not provide sustenance. Words can encourage, motivate, enhance, and communicate desires, intentions, thoughts, ideas. And then there's a ... afterwards as that thought trails off. But action, movement, and basic survival needs must accompany the words in order to thrive. If I tell you that a star is an orb, an ornament to adorn the sky, does that fuel your curiosity? Do you take my word at face value, or do you seek to know more for yourself? Exploration, freedom of thought, the dreams, ideas, and ponderings of many, that is what lights up the world, inner, outer, and beyond your knowledge of your current existence in this space and time. All is not what it seems. What you see on the surface is a microscopic piece of a puzzle far more vast and complex for full understanding. But would full understanding on one way of thinking and speaking be the key to satisfaction? In the unknown, we find purpose, passion, joy, and surprises that ignite our minds and souls. I love that message. So, message not from November 19th, 2026. That is so interesting. But from May 19th, 2026. All right, so this is where I'll go ahead and pause for a second. Maybe you ponder that for a moment, or I'll cut it out of the video if necessary. So this is the beginning of our pulling another card from the Divine 444 on the clock. And that may change depending on how I put this video up or if I take the pauses out. But the fact that it was up there does not change. So there are a number of Divine Masters that we have engaged with the energy of, and I'm very grateful for that energy, the information, the knowledge coming through, and also to Kyle Gray for this deck. It's absolutely beautiful artwork by Jennifer Hawkyard, and I do mention her because the artwork is just extraordinary. Absolutely beautiful. So we will see. I'm going to get a little bit more comfortable. Oh. And we will see who comes through for us. So I'm going to go ahead and put this way. If you've watched any of these videos, then you know that I enjoy and I find that it's very helpful to read the incantation is the word I think that always comes into my mind. And I don't know if that's the correct term, but that's what comes through, 555 on the clock, that Kyle has put into the box. So we will shuffle. I am being called to shuffle and then see what comes through. So thank you so much for being here, for watching these channeled messages. This is a little bit different than how I channel energy when I'm doing mediumship, but not incredibly different. I have my book that is not nearby for me to show you, that I do my initial impressions, and I just tune in, and whatever I get is what I get. Sometimes it'll be ancestors coming through. They'll give me images, they'll give me sounds, phrases. Sometimes it's smell or taste, it's sensations, whatever comes through. And I started these exercises, one more shuffle I'm hearing, to be able to, in real time, I mean, I know they're pre-recorded, I make sure the image is reversed and then upload them, so not true real time. But what you're seeing, I'm not editing it unless there's like some, well, no, with the channeled messages, I edit into clips so that people can see that there's a message and some of the highlights of the message if they choose to watch the longer video. But otherwise, all the pauses, all the spaces where Spirit has me slow down, I'm speaking more slowly, I leave that in. That's why some of them can be a bit longer. I'm hearing that is enough. So we will go ahead and pull these cards or pull a card and see what Divine Master is being channeled today. I'm feeling called to ground. If you watch these videos, that happens quite a bit. So let me ground myself and we will see where we're going. So as I'm grounding, I'm seeing like it looks like either a keyhole or a bird box. Initially, I thought it was a keyhole, but then there was a little stick knob or something sticking out that made me think of a bird box or a keyhole. And the colors green and blue were coming through very clear. So maybe heart chakra and throat chakra associated, which would be in alignment with that message of communication and how we communicate and how we view communication. So let's see, where are we going, Spirit? What Divine Master is stepping forward today? So we've got a few, but we're going to go ahead and go with the one that flipped across the table. So we have the Divine Director, trust the process, create space for divine order to unfold. So we are definitely keeping the channeled message in that I read at the beginning. We're definitely keeping that in this video. It is all connected. It is all part of it, which was my sense. But at the same time, I try to keep an open mind and not completely allow myself to push the meaning of something. So the Divine Director. And I'm feeling very, like, you may see it, but I'm feeling very emotional right now for some reason. I feel like I'm on the verge of tears. But it's very heart-centered. It's very, like, this compassion, this love, this empathy. I feel like like the way that a parent or a mentor, a teacher, somebody would feel when you see a child or someone you love succeeding or doing something, and you're like, yes. And what I'm not getting a clear image, but I'm seeing someone just standing there and like watching, not directly engaging. Like there was some teaching, there was some encouragement, but the person who succeeded, you did that yourself. And that it feels important to say that you are the one who made the decisions. You're the one who put in the work. You're the one who allowed yourself to do whatever it was that you needed to do in order to achieve success, whatever that means for you. Like there's no definitive, like I said, the picture is not clear. It's just the sensations and seeing somebody metaphorically crossing a finish line. But knowing that even though they crossed the finish line, it was just that one piece of the journey. It wasn't necessarily the whole journey. Oh, let me look at this card, because that's what we do here. That's what I do. That's what we do here. I don't know why I said that 11:22 when I did. Trust the process. Create space for divine order to unfold. So, in looking at this card, I just want to meet this being. Like when you look at this, as I said, the artwork is superb, and it's just this, I don't know about you, but looking in the eyes and looking at the face, I feel this love and acceptance. And this like excitement. Like I said, it's like pride is not the word that I'm looking for, but it's just, if you've had someone in your life that was like your number one cheerleader, your mentor, somebody that you feel like had that unconditional positive regard for you, somebody who absolutely 12:22 on the clock, and the numbers, I don't usually put those out as much when I'm doing the channeled messages, but this feels important. The numbers may be important to you. Like that, look at you. Yes, that's it. And even when you do something that's not, like you feel like it's a mistake, you feel like it's a failure, it's like, no, it's not. It was a learning experience. It wasn't a failure. It wasn't a bad thing, especially if, like there's such a sense of like, I'm not a huggy person. I hug people when I can tell they need it or it feels appropriate. With family and friends, we may hug people. I'm getting better at the hug stuff. How long do you hug? Are you supposed to squeeze? It depends on different people. And this isn't about me, but the importance of that was, it just feels like, and it's not just one person, like I'm seeing the divine director. I about said the divine master, which this is one of the divine master cards. It's like this big embrace. Like if we were to draw an image of somebody just like hugging the world. This is very, like when you think of the, like I said, mentor, grandparent, parent, whatever it is, that is just that person of unconditional positive regard, that person that loves you. It's not that they never correct you or help you to navigate the things that weren't so great. It's not that you don't have consequences for things. It's that even when things haven't gone so well, or you made a choice that was not a good choice, that it's still okay. This is how it feels. All right, I was being called to look at the artwork, but I keep just sensing the emotional aspect of it, and I know we're 14 minutes in, but that was a long 2-page channeled message, and then just sensing this energy. It is so big, but not in like the Shiva way that it felt very just, I felt like I had grown. I felt like Alice in Wonderland with Shiva, where it was like my energy body expanded so much that I was in the house where her feet come out the door and stuff. This is not that kind of expansiveness. It's just like this, well, like with the energy body, where it's just like to exist. Words are hard with this one, and that may be part of that communication message, that words, communication, it's limited, and it is, because that's part of why I'm honored with how information comes through so many different senses, because communication can only get us so far, regardless even of the difficulties that translation and things of actual languages may impose on us, but actually translating the internal experience can be difficult sometimes. And I feel like that's part of this message too. So with the artwork, the divine director, I mean, that looks like the universe. And that purple is reminding me of the color of some photos I took last night where Venus was so beautiful, bright, and close to the moon. And my camera just dimmed for some reason. And maybe I'll add those photos to this. And then also the Northern Lights, I think they were supposed to just be visible in northern US, and I'm kind of maybe midway down in North Carolina, but there were some parts of the sky that were these brilliant green and teal colors, and there I saw the green and teal light before I started this reading, and there's actually some light on each side right here that is about the color and brightness intensity that I saw when I was talking about the heart and throat chakra. I don't know. I just keep hearing it's all energy, it's all energy. And notice that this person, this divine director, is surrounded by pink. Again, that heart chakra color. The stones that I had felt connected to before even writing the channeled message were green calcite and green aventurine. My heart just feels so full, and the energy that I was talking, it's like that your energy is part of everything. Like your energy is not just in this one space. Sometimes we need to pull our energetic body in because we can be affected by so much, but this just feels like an expansion, that it's that all is, and that's what I just heard, all is one. It's that all is one. One is all and all is one, that it's like that collective consciousness all together. All right, I'm going to take a deep breath. This just feels exciting. Wondrous is the word coming in my mind. Was that in the channeled message? I feel like it was, like that it's I heard an exploration of space, but it was in like a Star Trek-y kind of voice. An exploration of space. I can't say it, but all right. I'm going to get grounded because this energy just feels so beautiful, and I can't help but smile. And if you saw my video from earlier where I pulled an affirmator card, and this is the deck, I can't remember, show it. Today has not been one of my good feeling fully healthy days. I'm still recovering from an outdoor event, and so to feel this energy, and my ears are starting to feel pressure and ring a bit, so I know I need to get onto the message, but I feel like this is important. To feel this energy, it feels very like my energy has elevated from connecting into this energy. And I'm seeing right now with those, like I'm not looking at them, but those connected lines, that's part of it. That was the expanse of the all is one, is that it's not just you focusing on your energy in a way that it's just your body recuperating and recovering. It's a connection. I'm seeing a grid, the light grid, the energy grid of the earth. And even if you're not outside, knowing that that connection can still be there, it's just connecting with the earth because that's healing. Okay, 20 minutes, so we'll go ahead and go, but that felt important to say. All right. Divine Master within, the voice of my inner teacher, I call on you now. Awaken and activate. I am willing to remember you. And so it is. Many of the words have already been said through the message and through the introduction. The focus has been narrowed, and it comes through various outlets, whether it is communities around you, the news, politics, the beliefs that pull your attention and guide you to one source. Focusing only on information obtained outside of yourself can lead you to only see what you are told. Although there are many things that are happening in which fear becomes overwhelming, there are so many other things that can lift your soul, an elevation of your consciousness that allows you to see and do more than you ever knew. Focusing only on the words of others, regardless of how those words meet you. Limits your understanding of all. There is so much love that you do not see. There is so much good that exists still. Emotional manipulation distorts your energy and creates more chaos within and without. The view is then focused on more of the same until you feel hopeless. It is not hopeless. This is not a chess game. It does not come down to the last piece. The mind is so expansive, and the possibilities are endless. Just when you or the other think that the game is over, you focus outside of the situation And behold, there is a new idea. It may not work, but you must try. And it requires community. One mind alone can be great, but a collection of minds focused on peace, elevation, and harmony, that is more powerful than the words. A precise plan and the desire for power or control. Do not feel all hope is lost, for it is not. It only is lost when you accept defeat. I see your heart. I know it is heavy. I understand that it feels hopeless sometimes. It is not. If you choose, it is not. But you have free will. You have sovereignty of choice. Not everyone wants you to believe that, but it is true. Are some things destined? Things will happen as they happen, but your choice can change the path. One difference can move the trajectory. One change, one small movement, one small step, like the wings of the butterfly, can create an astronomical event or situation that changes the very fabric of time. Your power is beyond what you know, but it does not exist in just one person, and it can be used for many different things. If you come together with an intent to destroy or to create peace, to demand for better or for worse, you still have power that you have used. Even when the choices have led to destruction and the loss has been great, the will, the ability, the adaptability of those on the planet, those who are part of humanity, part of the universe, still find a way to survive. Sometimes through some of the most tragic events. The spike in unity is amazing. It does not have to ignite from tragedy, but those losses, those struggles serve as a reminder of why community, support, and love are important. So take this message as you will, remembering that words are just words and that action is necessary in order to do anything with the thought or the word. But to know that you do not have to wait for something that feels devastating to happen in order to engage in love, free thought, compassion, elevation, and support of those around you and yourself. Many speak on the need for collective conscious efforts to create peace, higher vibrations, energetic states that elevate and support not just the individuals, not just the inhabitants, not just the people, but also the planet and the ripple effect that occurs as the vibration expands into the universe and beyond. Though one person or one community, your power is so much more than those who hold the illusion of power want you to think. I ask that you consider this. I ask that you look into your heart. I ask that you listen to your purpose within your soul. And for yourself, think of what that means, what your life path is, and what feels right and true to you. For your thoughts are powerful, and your actions more so. Choose carefully, my dears. I love you just as you love others. And the compassion, whether you feel that you received it or not, is necessary right now. I am not telling you to forgive and forget the slights of others without So this is Rebecca because there was a loss of words at this time. What I was seeing is, and I'm hearing do unto others, but what I was seeing is that even when others harm you, it's not that you just immediately say, oh, it's okay, and you take it, but you also don't have to engage. You don't have to create more hurt. The forgive and forget, saying that you don't have to forgive and forget, is understanding that if something happens, forgetting is difficult. And forgiveness, I'm seeing myself in my office when I did therapy, forgiveness is for you. It's not for the other person. They may not even know that you've forgiven them, but it's you releasing the emotions and energetic ways that it affects you so that you can move forward. In a way that is supportive of your growth, your goals, and the overall purpose. Whew. Got my eyes a little teary. There at the end, it was just, again, I could start sensing and feeling and seeing different things to try to communicate the message, but I feel like that also was partly a reiteration, and I don't want to put words into the energy or into anyone's, like I said, I'm not trying to direct how you see things or how you receive them, but that feels like that was the energy, just that it's up to you to decide what feels right for you, but holding on to those emotions, holding on to those hurts and thoughts and things will and can interfere with how you allow yourself to expand into this way of being. I'm going to pause for a second. It'll be just a moment for you. Thank you. Okay, excuse the pause. I did knock the card over by mistake. I thought somebody was coming up to my door, but that was not the case. All right, so we are going to look at the guidebook from the Divine Masters Oracle by Kyle Gray. There you go. Get a clearer image of it. My eyes teared up a little bit, and I think the tinted moisturizer is making my eyes itch now. So we have the Divine Director, and we are going to look in the guidebook to find him or her. Looks like a him, but I feel like gender is not as important as the message. And I don't expect you to adopt that or feel that way yourself. Maybe it's under Divine Director. I was looking under the T. There is our Divine Director. All right, I'll hold the card up so you can view it. All right. The Divine Director trusts the process, creates space for divine order to unfold. The Divine Director is an advanced cosmic light being from the heart of Source who is dedicated to helping Earth and all her inhabitants align with divine purpose. He is one of the more elusive Divine Masters, part extraterrestrial, part angel. He can take many forms, but in most cases looks like a character from Star Trek. Shut up! When I'm reading the guidebook after channeling these messages, I love it because there are things that I'll have said that then come through in the guidebook. And I'm learning these as I go. That was part of my personal mission with this. If you even look back at the very first channeled message was Melchizedek. I think I may be saying that right. I had to look it up and listen to it because I'd never heard of him before. And so it always cracks me up when I say something that's in the guidebook, especially when it's a direct thing. So I know I don't remember exactly what I said sounded like Star Trek, but I know there was something that I said did. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so let's see, what does it say? In most cases, looks like a character from Star Trek. He works closely with the angels to ensure they are fulfilling their duties and helping the humans they are charged with protecting. Your message: you are being guided to stop trying to micromanage the universe. I love it. I love it. Sometimes events are beyond human comprehension, and thus trying to figure out the finer, I love this, the finer details of your life may be holding you back rather than taking you forward. When the divine director comes to you, you're being invited to trust that there is a purpose behind what is unfolding. The choices and circumstances and challenges you are facing will lead you to know and trust yourself at a deeper level. If you find yourself not knowing where to go from here, there's a good chance that there's an aspect of your life that you have refrained from dealing with, healing, or sharing. This goes into that whole last part with the forgiveness and you don't have to forgive and forget, but here's how, what, and how will be helpful. In order for the next step to be revealed to you, you are encouraged to address the aspects of your life that you have overlooked. For when you do so, you allow the energetic wills of the universe to take you forward. I'm going to see if there's anything else. Nope. The next one is a divine master that we've already interacted with, I think, the very last time. I'm going to mispronounce it, but so we will focus just on this. But how wonderful to get that long message. One of the longer channeled messages that I've gotten, and I've gotten quite a number of them over the last year and a half or so. Not just in this series, but just in general, when I allowed myself to trust myself and present them. And that's how I even had started connecting with starseeds and multidimensional beings, things like that, which this deck promotes even more. So again, the whole reason that I started this was one, for me, but also to in real time demonstrate self-trust and why it's important to not just listen to what somebody else tells you to do and how they connect, because that may not be the same for you. It's you being able to learn different things, try them out, see what works for you, and allow yourself to lean into what you feel is supportive, not just what you're told. And I feel like the divine director is encouraging that as well. So thank you if you've watched the whole way through. I hope you have, because this has been just such a wonderful experience. Not that they haven't all been, but this was just a different energy and so much love and encouragement. And I feel like it's really needed at this time. So thank you for allowing me to hold space and share energy, channeled messages and things. Thank you to the divine director. And I'm going to work on winding down, coming back into the environment. You may already hear some sounds in the background, and cutting the connection for now. But thank you. Take care, and I hope that you have a wonderful whatever it is for you. Oh, and I always forget this part. If you would like to engage in an intuitive tarot session with me, that can be live or it can be pre-recorded, whatever works for you. I do have sessions available, mediumship as well, spirit connections, and I do some distance Reiki, and that is written. I give you the photo of the grid that I make with the gemstones, energy things. Okay, now it's just getting awkward because this is not my forte, but I'm going to be creating a flow chart to help with deciding what service works best for you, because I'm not a salesy promotional person, but I know I have to get things out there in a way that is informative and helpful without using too many words. Thank you so much, and take care.